Hey everybody, Jeff Joslin here. Wanted to do something different for Throwback Thursday. Always putting pictures and always putting videos, and wanted to give you guys a deeper look on how things played out for one of my MMA fights, and I'll give you some thoughts, share my thoughts of what I was thinking during the fight and before the fight, things that happened, maybe some things after the fight, and just share. I haven't watched this fight for a while, so I'm just gonna kind of go with the flow and give you guys a behind-the-scenes perspective of my fight against Jon Fitch. This was it in 2005 in Gatineau, Quebec, in an event called Freedom Fight MMA. It's one of my favorite fights, and I'm going to share with you anything that comes up as we watch it together. So let's get to it. We're going to watch the DVD, so you're going to get some of the DVD footage here. And none of those people in this video were me. Except for that one. There we go. So this is actually part of the Freedom Fight DVD that was released. And I think it was actually, I saw it at Walmart.
A lot of striking, kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing, combined with Brazilian Jiu-jitsu.
Look at that hair. I missed that hair, actually. Funny thing is, I always look how tanned I was. I always tanned for MMA fights. I don't know, just felt like if you're going to be on TV. This was actually on TV. It was the first time an MMA event was ever shown on national Canadian television. It was on TSN. So give a shout out to Pete Rodley for setting that up and giving some exposure to mixed martial arts when it was just still growing in terms of mainstream.
You're going to have to feel him out because it sounds like he's got decent stand-up. His ground's pretty good.
I think the U.S. team is going to be well prepared, and I think we're ready for anything they bring to us.
So he's actually, had to apply the stuff that he's learned. Where a lot of guys are just like, well, in theory, this is going to work. In theory, if I hit you like this, you're going to get
I don't think we really knew much about each other. This fight, I was training in Portland, Oregon, at Team Quest with Randy Couture was there the first day. He actually happened to be moving away the day after I got there to California, I think, or Vegas to open a school. I think it was California. And so I spent that week training with the knowledge that I was going to fight Jeremy Jackson at this Freedom Fight event. It was a five Canadians against 5 USA fighters. And I was going to fight Jeremy Jackson, and then he pulled out. And then I was set to fight Mike Guyman. So I was training at Team Quest with Nate Quarry, amazing guy, Mike Dolce, super cool guy, Chris Lieben, Chris Wilson. There's so many great athletes there, so many fighters on the mat. So I went down there to get a different perspective and spar with those guys and some of the guys that I looked up to in the UFC currently, and the guys that were on the Ultimate Fighter show. A lot of guys were there as well. And while I was there training for the fight, training was going very, very well. My second, Jeremy Jackson pulled out. Then I had Mike Guyman. Mike Guyman was one of the owners of Tap Out. He ended up pulling out as well. He was a professional fighter, had many fights. And then I received the name Jon Fitch. And obviously I was in the best shape of my life, and I was ready to fight anybody. And I didn't care as long as I had a fight. So we took the fight right away. We didn't know much about Jon. I don't think he knew much about me. And then we'll keep going forward and checking out this fight and seeing how it plays out.
I respect that.
Once again, Sean and Joe back in the Team USA dressing room. I'm standing next to Jon Fitch, a Purdue wrestling coach and wrestler. Jon, how you feeling right now?
Pretty good. I feel really good. After weigh-ins, got rehydrated, so I'm feeling back to normal, feeling ready to go.
I understand you had to lose 20 pounds to make weight for this fight.
Yeah, I generally walk around about 190 pounds, so the last couple days was about 12 to 15 pounds I had to lose. But
Okay, so watching that, it's a little interesting fact. So I guess he cut from 190, so it might have been up to close to 190 fight time. That fight actually wasn't that heavy. For this fight, I was 177 on fight day, so I cut from about 180 and only got back to 177.
Right.
Now, losing that much weight and putting it back on, do you feel that's going to affect your conditioning in any way if this fight has to go later on?
No, my conditioning is top-notch. It's not going to be a problem. If anything, it's going to affect my opponent, have to carry the extra weight.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, man. Best of luck.
And he comes from a wrestling background. But that doesn't mean that he won't strike.
So I knew Jon was a wrestler. I was able to watch, back then there was no Facebook, no social media, So I went to his website, and he actually had, well, this was while I was still in Oregon training at Team Quest, and I watched his website, checked out his website, and there was videos of him training, so I was able to see him shoot and kind of visualize how he shot and how he wrestled a little bit, so I think that helped me a little bit in this fight. But it was kind of cool, just had a couple videos. That's why I never really put training videos up. I think training videos are the most valuable videos to watch, because you can see what they're doing, and some of the things they're working on and some of the things they're trying, so in training.
He's been training with American Kickboxing Academy in San Jose, California. Jeff Joslin is a Canadian martial artist who comes from a family of martial artists. And speaking of Canadian martial artists,
pretty cool. The gave us these tracksuits. I still have that tracksuit in my closet 16 years or 15 years later. So I still have that top. I don't have the pants anymore though. But I was chosen I was chosen to be one of 5 fighters on Team Canada. So there was a bunch of us, and there's a bunch of future UFC fighters on this card, and they gave us an honorary coach. So we had big Gary Goodridge, Big Daddy, I believe his nickname was, veteran of the sport, and he was our honorary coach here. So my coach Vito Brancaccio was also in my corner as well, and my father, and the U.S. team had Tito Ortiz in their corner along with their coaches as well. So it was pretty cool.
who do we have joining us at ringside but the legend himself, one of the greatest kickboxers of all time? I'm talking about the Iceman, Joni Ontario.
Welcome. Before. This is an amazing moment. You are so, when you're in top shape and you're mentally prepared and you've done everything you can to prepare for a fight, you just believe in yourself 100%, or you better at this point. And I'm just ready to go in there and smash my opponent. I'm ready to show the crowd, well, you know, what skill's all about. And you're just putting these mental images of you just dominating and being confident, and just, it's all positive. It's all positive. And this is what makes it so fun. It makes such a crazy environment fun. So right now I'm just ready to smash. I'm so relaxed, in the best shape of my life.
Champ.
Thank you very much. Nice being here, guys.
Jeff, we're moments away from walking into the ring. How are you feeling right now?
Feeling excellent, feeling strong, ready to fight.
And feeling super tanned.
Your opponent, Jon Fitch, is an extremely tough guy, Purdue wrestler, you know, good hands. What are you bringing into this fight that he's going to have to...
You guys recognize? That's Showdown Joe. Joe did amazing things for martial arts, Canada, mixed martial arts in the world. He had a TV show on Sportsnet, UFC Central, did amazing things for the sport. I love that guy. He did so much to help us, our sport, grow, and he's an amazing person as well. So it's a really good combination.
Worry about?
Bringing everything, you know. I'm bringing striking, bringing grappling, bringing jiu-jitsu, just bringing all the elements that I need to win the fight. And I think, you know, you better be ready to handle it.
Jeff, thanks very much. Good luck tonight.
I'm going to stop this for a second so you can see behind. This is how I always like to enter the ring. Feels powerful. I jump in, don't climb through. You can see the guy here. He's trying to hold the ropes open, and then I just hop over.
How is he going to be able to deal with the wrestling of a guy like Jon?
Guys out there know you don't see the ring girls. You're in the zone. You don't even notice them as they walk by.
Well, you know, he's been doing a stand-up for a while. He's got pretty good footwork, and he does have a good background in jiu-jitsu.
So, Iceman, what do you expect to see from Joslin?
Well, I think he's going to try and stay standing.
Okay, we had some pretty cool commentators for this fight. So we had Steven Quadros, a legend in the commentating game. Did a lot of Pride events and MMA events in Japan, and did so much for the sport. Helped to grow. We have Michael Landsberg from TSN. Off the record, I got to do that show with him in the future. After this fight, many years later, he's amazing. He's so smart. Such a great memory. Awesome person as well. And then Jean-Yves Thériault, he was he's a legend in Canada and across the world for kickboxing. Amazing fighter. So it was an honor to have these 3 gentlemen commentate my fight.
Punches. I understand that Fitch has been working on his stand-up. He may provide some resistance.
So we could see a bit of a brawl here.
I think we're going to see some swingers.
Some strikers.
Swingers.
Let's put it that way.
Well, strikers got to swing.
There you go.
The blow's got to come from somewhere, as we are certainly loving the fact that we have Jean-Yves Thériault, the legendary kickboxer around the world, and certainly across Canada and Quebec, so well known, and certainly the best known of any Canadian fighter ever. And I got to say,
this is really cool. Like we don't know much about each other, and you're about to surprise each other. You're about to try to solve the puzzle of what's going on in this MMA fight. He's in great shape. I'm in great shape. He's had a bunch of fights already. I've had a bunch of fights, and we're just about to tee off head to head. So let's see how it goes. They both have he's got a strong corner at AKA, and I'm excited to watch this again.
I broadcast your last fight, so it's great to see you looking
you.
exactly the same weight I'm sure you were back then.
Here we go. Round number 1, left inside low kick by Fitch, misses. He goes again with that weapon, and
Okay,
Joslin.
so Fitch came out. This happens a lot in MMA. A lot of guys come out with kicks because they don't really want to engage hand to hand. It takes a little bit more risk to get in there and box. So threw a couple kicks. So my mindset here is land my right hand when he throws his right kick. Show him that right away he's not going to get away with kicking me. He's not going to have free kicks. Nothing is for free. Even if your punch whizzes by his head and doesn't hit the person, you show him that, man, you're not going to get a freebie like that.
With the right hand. Oh, good right low kick
Right
by Fitch. Eats a right hand.
Joslin came over the right low kick with a good right to the jaw.
And there we go with a takedown attempt. And look at that takedown defense by Joslin.
So Fitch did a nice job there. He threw a couple punches, then shot for a takedown. And now we're in the clinch. I expected this clinch. Let's see how it goes.
Footwork on his part.
You were right, Jean-Yves. Now, one of your trademark weapons
Now you
is
notice
the
the fights
left
in the
hook.
ring. Back then it was actually illegal to have a fight in Quebec in a cage, so everybody was forced to have it in rings. I liked it a lot though. You can really corner someone, cut them off, and make them pay if they try to run away.
I'm thinking we're going to see that in bunches from Joslin tonight.
As long as he stays away from Fitch, I think he's got a chance of hitting him and coming
So
in.
I remember being in this position. Now, you ask, 15 years later, how can you remember anything? This is one of the most emotional and intense moments of your life. When you are in a fight, and when you're in any situation in life that's intense, you never forget those feelings. They kind of get like blazed in your mind forever, and you kind of share that moment with another fighter. It's pretty cool. So I'm sure he doesn't forget those feelings. I don't forget those feelings. It's almost like you remember like a old girlfriend. You can remember some of those intense moments you had, whether they were good or bad. You have this moment with this fighter, and those memories are in you forever. So I remember at this point that in the clinch, I was expecting a big throw to come. So I was, just waiting. I was hitting his body, he was hitting my body, and nothing came. And I like to think it was because of the wrestling that I was doing and my positioning and my leverage, but he didn't go for a big throw or big takedown here, and it kind of surprised me at the time.
Joslin stepping back, Fitch falling back. Fitch answers with a right hand.
Took a good punch there,
So
Jeff did.
right there, he actually did some some good strikes there. He hit me with an uppercut there. We went to exchange. He did a good job at the beginning of moving his head off the line when he threw. So he was kind of awkward. It was kind of hard for me to get a feel for his punches. He was kind of punching and dipping his head, punching and dipping his head. So it took me a while to kind of get a feel for it. So while I was doing that and adjusting, I ate a few in the face.
Yes, he did another
Nice
right
job.
hand.
Oh, there's the left hook. There's the left hook.
That was nice. When I started to find his head there. He started moving his head. I threw an uppercut combination. He threw a kick. I caught it, and I was able to take him down. So it's a good feeling. If you can get that takedown, takedown, start to save your energy on top and make him carry your weight, that's a great moment. Again, it's big in the judge's eyes as well.
Down with Jeff Joslin on top in the guard of Jon Fitch. What a turn of events where the martial artist took the wrestler down.
Absolutely. And like I said, Jeff has been doing some jiu-jitsu. He's been doing some groundwork, and I think he's comfortable there. He's going to look for some submission.
At this point, I remember hearing the corner man. He was just to my right, I think. It was John's corner man was yelling, "Sweep him, sweep him!" And I remember thinking in my head, looking at him and just like, "Yeah, right, buddy. You're not going to sweep me." I just felt confident, and that's the type of things you want going through your head when you're fighting. You want to be able to think the positive. Sometimes you could hear "sweep him," you're like, "Oh no, I'm going to get swept. I'm going to get swept," and then it happens. You almost manifest it. I was like, "Get out of here, brother. I'm not getting swept. Sweep me? Come on." a little bit cocky, but necessary in times of chaos.
Probably a couple of strikes before.
Jon Fitch is dangerous from his back and does have some credentials. It's a little right hand there because he's won a few grappling
Trying to do a little
tournaments.
ground and pound there, but John's keeping my head down, doing a good job at tying my arms up. And, yeah, I just couldn't hit him as hard as I wanted to.
So he knows how to submit people. He knows how to work from his back. But as we
Little
talked about
body head.
before, Joslin is no stranger to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or
So you see that
working.
with that arm? My right arm's tied up. It limits my ability to really pull my head up and reel down. So I got to free that arm. Let's see what I do. I can't even remember what I did.
In the top position, the guard. I don't think that Joslin is going to try and pass the guard. I think he's going to try and ground and pound.
Yeah, I think if I
from this
went back now, I'd defend that a little differently. My arm is stuck. So what I need to do is kind of turn my palm up. It's hard to explain now, but I would yank it out of there. I would circle it in a tripod. You know, I would get that hand out of there, that's for sure.
position like that.
Exactly. Couple of strikes before maybe trying a strangulation or something, or submission hold.
There we go. My hand's free now.
Little blood
A
from
little
the
more ground and pound.
left eye.
John doing a good job, though, minimizing the damage that I can do.
Jon Fitch working from the bottom now.
Fitch
Josh.
opening that guard up and closing it again. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a restart unless they get busy. Okay, Joslin.
Okay, so this is something I like to do a lot. Try to stand up, make things happen. It gives me a bit more leverage. Just got to watch the up kick a little bit, but it can give you an opportunity to ground and pound a little stronger.
Stepping up, looked like he might be going for a leg. Yeah, he was going to think about that leg, but you got to watch
here. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to punch him in the face. If I punch his face, I actually can get kicked in the face much easier. So what I'm going to do is put my right leg forward, I believe, and I'm going to smash him in the stomach. And any fighter knows, you guys know, headshots do not hurt. It's just like ding, 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 you're awake or you're asleep, and then body shots just take the life out of you, suck the life out of you.
for the up kick here.
Boom, right there. Another one.
Right hand.
The second one was hard.
Went through. Oh, he took a really good kick.
Like you say, you got to worry about that. And he took a kick to the head, but still, Joslin is the aggressor.
He's a tough kid, and he's been around this
He
business for a while.
Jean-Yves landed a big blow and then received one.
Absolutely. Like those up kicks are dangerous. You could catch him right under the chin.
I've seen
Pass the guard
knockouts
now.
happen. Henzo Gracie knocked out Oleg Tatarov in a spectacular match years ago. He knocked him completely unconscious. It's the heel of the foot that you want to land to the jaw or the side of the head of the
So this is one of my
opponent.
favorite passes you're going to see here. So this is a pass I learned from Marcelo Garcia when he was at my school. When I was at brown belt, he was at my school for a month, and he showed us this pass, devastating pass, and a lot of people aren't used to it. I actually got caught with it at the World Championships when I had not learned it at that point many years back, and I was a brown belt at the time of this fight. So actually, it was probably pretty soon after Marcelo left our school. So he was visiting for a month, and he showed me this pass, and we're going to see how it works. So you sprawl on the ground, and then you kind of kick out. You have your right underhook, and slide out to side control.
That one guy can dominate another guy, but it's unlike boxing where the fight can turn just like that. And that's
Just
the
like
end
that.
of round number one, Joslin and Fitch.
Okay, now Fitch turtling up now, knowing it can be kneed to the top of the head. Fitch driving in. Look at that sprawl, though, by Joslin to defend the takedown. Fitch working, using a lot of energy to try and pick
So
that
I
leg.
the pass there, he did a good job of turning to his knees, and now we're in a wrestling position. I really didn't want to submit. I wanted to get back to striking here, so I didn't think about a guillotine or anything like that.
Get
Center
the
of
takedown.
gravity, that's it.
And he almost went into a guillotine choke, standing back up. Jon Fitch returns the fight to standing. Wants to get a takedown. Roundhouse kick by Fitch, and they break.
Very good aggressive fight.
Both these guys, oh, good left hooks by both guys.
There he was again. He did a good job of moving his head, slipping the punches. We both kind of missed each other. It's important as a fighter. You got to move your head. Move your head. That can save you a lot of damage. That's one of my favorite things to do is head movement. My coach again, Vito Brancaccio, always moving the head, always moving the head. I think it comes into play later in a major way in my favor. So I'll have to wait and see.
There's Joslin is trying to throw. He's trying to throw
Again,
some
that
punches
head
from
just hit him with the, clipped him with the hook. He ducked underneath. Now we're back in the clinch.
outside.
What a
And again, I
match.
expected a throw to come, and I actually went for my own body lock here. But he did a good job of turning sideways there.
Far double underhook position by Joslin, trying
Twisting.
to take Fitch down again. Joslin chopping away with a knee to the leg. I'm thinking we're going to see a restart by the
Trying to score
referee
some
at this
knees.
stage here.
Sometimes
Too
in those
much
clinch
longer.
positions is all you can do. Try to score some points with some knees. Stay busy. Be the more active fighter.
They're kind of locked up. Joslin chopping away with a hook to the midsection.
Those liver punches, I'll tell you, they don't forgive.
No, they don't. And you know that all so well, Johnny.
It's 3 5-minute rounds. Time winding down in round number 1. Both men have thrown the left hook and landed the left hook.
So again,
right
he landed a nice low kick there. Came with the right hand just to make him pay. Make sure he doesn't get a free one there.
Kick by Fitch once again. Fitch being scrappy.
This is a pretty crazy moment. So we're in the exchange, and he's going to throw a combination. He's going to drive him with his head, and he's going to smash me with his head and pretty much knock me out. I'll explain a bit more what I felt when it happened, but let's check it out. Here it is. It's pretty quick.
Standing.
Bam.
Oh, good right hand. Good right hand by Fitch.
Dude, I did not even know that was a headbutt. He hit me so hard. I just thought, wow, that was a great punch. But I should have known. His other punches were kind of like just pat, 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 pat. You know, they weren't dazing me or anything like that, or just, you know, tip tapping and smacking a little bit. But this was like boom. All of a sudden, I'm like, I blacked out and I woke up as I hit the floor here. And watching this again, he actually hit me with a pretty good shot right there. You can see it coming down. I'm surprised that I was able to fight through this, but my instincts kicked in, and I was able to hold on, move my head. I just thought it was a punch. I was like, nice shot. Good job. Let's keep fighting.
Another one.
Joslin in big trouble on the bottom.
Couple good shots there.
Fitch trying to close the show here.
Just
Joslin
holding on,
just
struggling. The referee didn't see the headbutt, I guess, so I had to keep fighting through that. And that was a tough moment.
I thought their heads collided as well on the way down.
So
And that's
the
it.
commentator just say that Michael Landsberg was the only one who noticed. He thought the heads collided. But like I said, I didn't notice. My cornermen, when I went back to my corner, they didn't notice either because they were behind me, so they just saw me fall, and they thought it was a punch as well, so they didn't even mention that. So we just went on like business as usual.
The end of the round.
The end of round number 1.
That was a
What
big
round.
finish by Jon Fitch.
That was a big finish indeed, and
Oh, and there's a cut on top of the nose here.
Joslin controlled the action on the
So in between rounds, this is a tricky situation. So I don't remember this happening. Actually, I was probably still dazed. But coach gives you a couple tips, tries to calm you down. The cut man comes in. My nose is already cut at that point. I think my nose is broken. Blood starts pouring the next round, and I think he cracked my teeth as well because my teeth end up falling out later on in the round. Let's get back to the action.
But it was Fitch who used his scrappy style to blast that right hand at the end of the round and to drop Joslin onto his back.
Here's the Budweiser replay. I'm Showdown Joe. Well, there's an absolute fire
I
in the
forgot
eyes of
Joe did a breakdown.
Yeah.
This is for
Jeff
TV.
Joslin. He is throwing these punches with pinpoint precision here. Anything Fitch does, Joslin's got an answer, as you can see here with a beautiful takedown. The fight gets down on the ground, but then it stands back up with Fitch basically throwing some punches, and then when it does go back down, he answers with an up kick, but Jeff does clear the legs. Here's the moment of controversy here. It wasn't a punch, but in fact it was a headbutt that knocks down Jeff Joslin. A momentary knockout here, but he wakes up when Fitch comes back down to the ground here. Back to you
Just
guys.
happy. I'm happy I woke up because it could have been over right then.
Round number 2. Jon Fitch, Jeff Joslin, Canada versus the United States, and another peek by the doctor.
I think Fitch is going to try and...
Don't stop it, Doc. Don't stop it. Let me fight. All right. Good stuff.
To me is how formidable Jon Fitch was in the standing portion of the fight.
The word was that he worked on his striking.
And that word was correct. It's that left inside low kick that he sets the punch up with. A lot of times fighters
Still
will throw
moving
that
my head
left.
a little bit there, so that's the important part is you want to be able to move your head and keep him guessing, throw the jab, and like I said, John's doing a good job of that as well. We both have similar kind of length of our arms, and we're actually built pretty similar. He's probably a bit heavier than me, maybe 5-10 pounds, but can't really tell.
Side low kick and drop the right hand directly after it. There's the left hook by Fitch.
Nice
over
check
the top,
hook there. As I
raises.
threw my punch, he came over top.
And Jeff is trying to work from the outside, some long punches. Got to set some stuff up.
Which is what he's trying to do. He's throwing his punches in combination. Jeff Joslin.
Joslin eating another right hand. He's got to figure out a remedy. I would say the left hook is a good remedy for the right hand.
Absolutely. Little step back and throw the left hook.
Nice kick.
Right over the top.
Maybe take a little coming in short with that right hand. Oh, there's that left hook again by Jon Fitch.
I don't know that Jeff is completely recovered from the last section of the first round.
And he's eating those low kicks again.
Good
Oh,
left
this
hook
round
that
for me
time.
was a blur. I think I was still kind of concussed a little bit, obviously. This is a fight, happens, but just trying to, stay in the fights, build myself back up, put some pressure on.
Joslin. Joslin, good kick.
I think Jeff is at a disadvantage staying on the outside like this. I think he's going to be in the inside or take this fight to the ground.
Good
They're
head
matching
movement
punch
there.
for punch. Jon
We're
Fitch
both
is
missing
doing
each
pretty
other
good
there,
here.
both of us moving the
They'll
head.
put things together. The one punch is not going to do it.
I like the way that Jon Fitch rolls when a punching exchange comes. He moves his head side to side.
He's got good eyes, absolutely.
Yes, he does.
There's a slip.
I think that Fitch may have practiced a good deal of his career using wrestling shoes because he slipped a lot, and they don't allow shoes in this. And some of the fighters said, well, I can't wear shoes. I think he may be, coming from a wrestling background,
We've got blood.
Shoes, and we've seen Fitch.
Blood starting to pour from the nose. But you don't think about that. You're so well trained. You're such great shape. You just fight. You don't even need to breathe properly. It's not. You can still breathe. You're in great shape. I had to breathe through my mouth a little bit.
Working and getting the takedown. Joslin on his back, half guard. He's actually half butterfly guard.
There's a lot of blood coming from Jeff's face.
So from this position, I like to work the butterfly guard. And this is actually. Let's stop that for a second. So I kind of tweaked the rules a little bit here. So when I fought before in Gatineau, Victoriaville, I had some instances where guys were standing up, stood up in Quebec in TKO event when they slid under the ropes. So I kind of knew that going into this fight, and so at this point we're right there. I'm like, okay, if I just scoot back an extra foot, they're gonna probably start us up standing. It's kind of a dumb rule. Like, why would you start them up standing? You should start them back in the middle on the ground. But since I had that experience of that happening to me before, someone using it against me, now that experience comes in. It just shows you how much experience plays into it. So you'll see me kind of just shimmy out and knowing that I'm going to get back to my feet.
So it won't be a factor because Jordan, as you know,
So there, just like moving.
The referee and the doctor has to really think.
No, I didn't really actually move that much, but
stopping the fight actually. It looks like we're going to have a restart.
Should have been starting on the ground, but in the rules in Quebec, they start you back on the feet.
It looked like Fitch wasn't too happy with that call.
What does Joslin need to do to grab this fight back?
Oh, well, a spinning back kick, if it landed correctly, might be the answer. But I believe that he needs to get on the inside.
Busting a little karate there, spinning back kick. It's one of my favorite moves back when I was a teenager in the karate tournament circuit. Traveling around the world, lots of great memories from that. Met a lot of awesome people.
For the legs.
Yeah, I think he needs to work the inside and then go for the takedown.
There you go, there you go.
That's it. That's it. He got a couple good shots in there.
Yeah, I think I wanted the body lock takedown. I was using that a lot at that time. It was working really well for me. He did a good job twisting his hips, turning and whizzering.
Joslin trying to trip takedown, the ropes preventing it. Okay, we're seeing the chopping action of the knees to the legs by both men. Charlie
I remember
Moore
right here. I remember I could hear him really breathing. I could feel him getting tired. I could just feel him starting to break a little bit. And I was feeling strong. I don't know if it was because I didn't cut that much weight or I was 177 pounds, only 7 pounds. My energy was actually pretty good, despite the intensity of the fight. So I could feel him getting breathing heavily, and it gave me a lot more confidence. So let's push on.
We're talking about tomorrow. Anybody that's needed a thigh like that knows it doesn't.
Those body shots, even though they don't look big, those take a lot out of you.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, and Jeff is trying to sneak in some body shots there, some liver punches.
Both men still strong in this second torrid round of this 3-round fight.
Oh, the right and the left landed from Jon Fitch.
Actually, no, I like the fact that I'm kind of pushing forward. I'm pushing forward, pushing him back, and that can be fatiguing. And I think that goes a long way in wearing him out in this round and going forward into the last round.
Are you surprised that Jeff is keeping that left hand low and he still keeps getting hit with that right hand?
I don't know that he respects Jon Fitch's punching at this point, because those punches come back really, really low, and Fitch is able to come back over.
I landed a couple nice jabs there. I think I would have liked to throw more combinations, jab, cross, hook. But just, you have to go with what you feel at the moment, with how your body feels, how the head feels, how the range feels, how the fight feels. You know, watching, sometimes you can't tell what's available.
I think that Joslin has to get busy with combinations here.
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, one punch doesn't work. There you go.
Good right hand there. Good right hand. Looks like we got a mouthpiece.
This was a quite dumb moment. I don't know if it was a break, but his mouthpiece fell out.
And a little swelling now under the eye of Jon Fitch.
Yeah.
I don't know if he spit it out or if it got punched out. But that wasn't my mouthpiece.
It's a brutal fight. There's a lot of...
But the referee, for some reason, thinks it's my mouthpiece.
We got quite a bit of swelling under the right eye of Jeff Joslin as he goes and gets the mouthpiece once again.
Like, come on.
I guess the mouthpiece came from heaven. We don't know where it came from. Oh, it was actually Jon Fitch's mouthpiece. We thought...
You can see he's getting really tired now. He's hanging on the ropes. So his hands are down. He's holding on the ropes. He's leaning back. I didn't notice at the time. I probably should have watched more. But I could feel him fatiguing.
Used to being around a fight, so I'm wearing the full gear, even ringside.
Michael Landsberg has spit out his mouthpiece.
What a fight! Second round, Fitch and Joslin.
Okay, this is the fun part. So so I had, my nose was cracked from the headbutt earlier, so I felt this snot. This snot was hanging down. It was blood and snot. It was probably about this long. You know, it was all the way down to here. And it was just gripping and hanging out of my nose. So I grab it at this point, and I'm just like, I throw it because I can't even concentrate. I'm just throw it and back to the fight, and it landed in the crowd in somebody's beer. I'll see if I can find that picture for you later. But that was pretty funny. So you'll see me throw it, and it lands in the VIP section.
Kind of like
right
that
there.
jab
That's it.
that Joslin is going through. I think that's going to be the key.
That was a tricky moment there. He fell. I just kicked right away. Luckily, I didn't kick him in the head. It would have been illegal, but I hit his body somehow, so no penalty.
You notice that he's on his feet a lot. He's moving around. He's staying away from Jon Fitch.
But Fitch has tried to land the big kick, and twice he slipped.
There's a good punch. Top of
Now,
the head.
I can hear the crowd going crazy. It was kind of nice to have a hometown advantage. You had, you know, the Canadian crowd there cheering me on. So everything I did, they would cheer, and that gives you a lot of energy. Most times you don't hear the crowd because you're in the zone, and it's like a tunnel. All you see is a little tunnel. Plug your ears as hard as you can. That's pretty much all you can hear. And you're in this small, tiny tunnel. If you just do a tunnel around your eyes, that's all you can see in a fight. Everything shuts down. But you do feel the energy when you are getting cheered. People are cheering you on. You can feel the energy. It kind of builds you up. And I've also had the opposite. I fought Jonathan Goulet in his hometown in Quebec, and every time he threw a punch, it wasn't even hitting me, and the crowd was going bananas. I was like, what's happening here? 3,000 people roaring when punches were missing. So you can definitely feel it positively or negatively, depending on if you're the favorite or if you're the bad guy. I could feel the crowd, and it definitely fueled me, and I loved everybody for all their support.
One thing that I see both guys doing, and I don't know that it's the best strategy, they're single shotting here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. There's no setup.
Yeah, because I think the jab is a good setup for Joslin. And there's a combination.
There you go. There you're exactly right.
It's a good combination and good takedown defense, but he gives up the takedown.
Good timing there. You got the takedown at the end, but the bell rang and it finishes the round. Which I threw a bit of a combination there. Pretty funny. I was like, well, why do you put yourself through? Why would someone want to get into a ring or a cage and fight somebody? It's hard to explain. It's like your skills. You train everything. You train so much. Your skills are so prepared. It's a chess match. It's my skills against them. You don't really even feel like you're fighting a person. You're fighting their abilities. You're fighting what they know, their knowledge, their experience. You're fighting their heart. They're fighting your heart. You're pushing. It's one of the best moments in life, in my opinion, when you get to push yourself past your limits and see what you're made of. And this is one of my favorite fights because I get to see what I'm made of. You know, I hit pretty much almost got knocked out. My teeth just fell out actually at that point. In the corner there, they pulled my mouthpiece out and my teeth fell out of my mouth. I don't know if you can see it, but my wife noticed right away that I had no teeth. My front teeth fell out. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it a bit there. But I guess they broke earlier in the fight, and then all of a sudden they just fell out of my gums. And I remember thinking, well, let's wait a little bit. I'll tell you in a second. Right there, no teeth. Oh, the Budweiser thing blocked it.
It's quite obvious here that Jeff Joslin is still feeling the effects of that headbutt. He's unable to get anything off. He does land a nice spinning kick here, but it's just pretty bad the way he's looking right now.
Thanks, Joe. That kind of missed. I don't know if I landed that, but thanks, Showdown Joe.
Working it to try and get maximum, but for some reason he spits out his mouthpiece. Obviously could have been that pressure from Jeff Joslin. The ref is actually confused here, wondering whose mouthpiece it is. All I see is Fitch trying to buy some time here, guys. I don't know.
Looks like I'm trying to catch my breath as well. That's a tough fight. Tough fight. We're both getting tired. Last round. Here we go.
Au Quebec, Canada versus the United States. This is round number 3 in a wildly entertaining and violent fight. Jon Fitch, the American.
Again, the doctor, you never know if they're going to stop the fight. Checking my nose, checking my eye sockets there. Health is always most important.
And the doctor, apparently he's okay to continue.
Well, one word could sum the first 2 rounds of this fight up, and that's war.
Okay, so what was I thinking? Right now I was thinking, nobody knocks my teeth out. For real, this is what I thought in my head. Nobody knocks my teeth. Weird things go through your head when you're fighting, and I was like, "Bud, you're going down." This was that positive thinking. I'm like, I'm not losing this fight. I'm back. I'm winning this fight. I'm gonna push hard to finish this guy off. It's just a positive. No matter what happens, teeth fall out, nose broken, whatever happens to you, you need to keep pushing, keep going. Good things can happen. But if you start getting that negative thought process as a fighter, it just snowballs, and you just get smashed. You get beat up. You can't come back. Anything's possible. When you believe in yourself.
They did go to war. First round was pretty much ground and pound. Second round, a lot of trading. Now they're tentative. I think that Joslin is going to learn.
You're going to see, this is my favorite move actually in striking. So I'm going to throw a jab, hoping that he jabs back. When he jabs back, I slip my head to the right and I come back with an uppercut, hook, cross, hook combination. And this is a pivotal moment in the fight right now.
That last flurry and to use more combinations on you.
Exactly, he's got to put together that, just like that. Nice uppercut to open the series.
That first uppercut hit him full power in the mouth. When we were at the hospital after, I thought it was a knee strike. He said while we were driving to the hospital, both of us had to go. My teeth had been knocked out, so I stuck them back in. Talk more about that after. And then his lip was cut off from that uppercut, and he still has a scar there actually, so we both kind of changed each other's looks forever. But he thought it was a knee strike. I didn't correct him. I didn't say it was an uppercut, but I knew I didn't throw a knee there.
For the hook, and we get the shot by Fitch and the sprawl by Joslin, and Fitch drives in using his wrestling. Is he going to get it? And Joslin is defending the takedown brilliantly.
Excellent, still up.
That was a cool moment right there. I hit him with the combination. He came back hard, though. His instincts kicked in. His wrestling kicked in. He's going for the takedown. I'm working. He's changing takedowns one to the next one. I'm trying to hit him in the face. I'm moving, shaking. This is an amazing moment where we're both pushing each other. And fortunately, I was able to break free from the takedown.
Good work. He's trying combinations. He's going to try some combinations again. I think that uppercut worked for him. Now he's going to go with it.
This is weird here. Right now, I'm cornering him. I didn't notice that his lip was really cut bad, but he was looking at the referee to his left. He was kind of motioning to him to get his attention. I wasn't sure what was happening yet.
Fitch wants out of the stand-up exchange. Fitch, something is wrong.
Right there, he called a timeout. He stopped, and I thought I won the fight, so I walked away. It's over. TKO, you cannot call a timeout. He calls a timeout. Referee talking to him for a second, taking a break.
Something's wrong. I think they got an injury.
Right there, I think he has to talk to his corner or somebody or check the doctor. And the referee calls a timeout.
We're going to have a timeout here.
Now, is he allowed to take a timeout?
I don't know what the problem is.
He's claiming an injury. I think that the rules do not permit this.
No, I don't know what the problem is. Maybe if he got thumbed, okay, he's bleeding, he stays down the mouth. To me, it should be, they got to rule this. I mean, he's bleeding out the mouth. It doesn't affect his vision.
I think the fact that he stopped on his own, I think he's kind of conceding the victory here.
Yeah, I mean, the referee has to make a decision here because if Fitch wants out,
of course.
He has to make a decision. The referee, if Fitch wants out, they should rule it a TKO.
Exactly.
Because this should be a standing 8 count or a 10 count here.
What is happening right now? Oh man, this has been a great fight so far, but this is a crazy moment. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen here? I thought I won the fight. You can't have a break like this. I would have called a few of my own breaks if I knew that beforehand.
I don't know what the delay is.
So it ends up being more than two. It ends up being 2 minutes, 2-minute break.
Fight and sees the confidence factor.
So right there, I tried to talk to the referee, but he's from Quebec, and I don't think he speaks much English. So unfortunately, I wasn't really be able to explain. I can't remember what he said to me, but it didn't make sense at the time.
Spades.
I think that Jon Fitch was able to take the rhythm away with this stall tactic.
Have you ever seen that before, where a guy takes a timeout?
No.
There's no such thing as a timeout.
Oh, that's what he did.
I don't understand why they allowed
So
this.
I was able to continue fighting. So now I try to turn on the pressure and finish this guy off. Let's go.
But what I would do if I were Joslin is go back to the punching combinations that worked so well in the last couple minutes, second round in the early part of this.
I could really hear the crowd now starting to cheer me on.
Hunting him now. Fitch is being hunted by Joslin.
That was my best weapon at that time, the jab. Try to drop him with a body kick.
By Fitch. Fitch waiting to load up on that right hand. Fitch diving for the takedown. Joslin defending, sprawling. Beautiful takedown defense by Joslin. If you want to know how to fight a wrestler, watch this fight.
Fitch kept pushing though. He didn't give up. He didn't give up. He took some good shots too. I gave him some hard shots in the face. He's a tough guy.
I think Joslin should throw a low kick right here.
But this is where I really
kick.
noticed the energy difference. I don't know what it was, but maybe it's because I didn't cut as much weight. But I felt like I could do another round or two at this point. Maybe the energy, maybe seeing him, breaking down, him getting tired. But I felt amazing. This was one of my best moments, and just started to feel really, really strong.
Drop the hands of Fitch and open him up for punch combinations. But right now he's trying to pick punches. Okay, Fitch looks like he's ready to. He doesn't look too confident. All he is, he's refused to diving in for takedowns, which have not been
I tried to get back
successful.
that body shot. Maybe that's what actually happened a little bit in this fight. I hit a few body shots, and it can suck the life out of you. It's very, very tough to recover. So work that body, fighters.
Thus far in this round, Fitch
But
pulling
he's
to
really
his
tight
back.
now. He just sat back to guard.
Joslin has to be careful. Joslin in complete control at this moment in round number 3.
But if it goes to the judges' scorecards, first 2 rounds were very close.
Absolutely, and I'm wondering what they're going to do with that stoppage, that stall tactic.
Yeah, that's got to count. Well, it's got to count against him, and I don't know what the judging criteria
Sneaking
is.
in here. So I remember watching the UFC, and somebody, I think it was maybe George St. Pierre, somebody passed his guard, Jon Fitch, and it was like, that's the first time Joe Rogan's like, first time Jon Fitch's guard has ever been passed. And I was like, no, what are you talking about? I passed his guard. And then he's like, in the UFC. I'm like, okay, that's correct.
A side mount position.
I think that fight's going to close soon.
We got side mount by Jeff Joslin. And Fitch seems to be in a world of trouble, but it seems to me that Jeff wants to...
Nice job turning the knees there. I didn't mind if we get back to the feet now. Just wanted to keep striking. Sometimes I couldn't ground and pound. He just pushed him over there.
Jeff, I would back away and make him stand back up rather than falling back into his guard. Fitch is in a world of hurt here outside of the ropes. Fitch hanging on. Still got a little bit of fight left in him. He's not completely out of this fight. But he's taking a shellacking. A lot of body punches. Got half guard position. I think he wants to for sure hold the man from Canada down and ride the rest of this round out.
3 5-minute rounds, the first 2 rounds, very close, maybe too close to call, but the third round dominated by the Canadian.
I still thought that I got hit with a punch in the first round, but I felt like I was doing enough in this round and just making him give up that this could be a 10-8 round. The second round probably was close. First round, they might have gave him that one. It's tough, but I felt at this point, you know, he was breaking, he was done. There's no way that he's winning this fight.
And Jeff Joslin, and in a very unusual moment, Fitch asked the referee and got a timeout.
Yeah, that's highly unusual. But I think the referee should restart it because they're not doing anything that's going to damage the other person. They're holding. There we go.
And you say this is for Joslin's advantage, right?
Absolutely. Because look at Fitch, he can barely get up.
Again, I should have been watching Fitch. I wasn't even watching to see how tired he was, but he has trouble standing up at this point.
If I were Joslin, I would take a page out of the playbook of Vanderlei Silva and charge in for the blitz. Like
Go for it.
Exactly.
Go hard on him now. Finish it hard.
Oh, this is a cool moment. Joslin, the crowd's going crazy. You can hear it. You can feel it. It's an amazing moment. You know, the crowd was... I'll never forget that moment. I could just feel the fight. I could feel I was about to finish him off, and the crowd was behind me, and I'd overcome so much adversity.
Joslin should pop that jab.
The crowd chanting his name, Joslin. His face battered, bloody, bruised. But right now, that's the look of the winner.
Absolutely.
He's talking good footwork, got out of the way, made Jon Fitch miss. That's discouraging. We don't have much energy left, and you throw and miss. It's very discouraging.
Still a little
That's
bounce
exactly true. So, Jean-Yves Terrell, obviously champion fighter, legend in the game. When you make someone miss, it's actually better than you landing a punch of your own. So if you land a punch, it's good for you. But if you hit them twice and then make them miss once, man, it sucks the life out of them. So always try to make them miss. Always try to make them miss. Don't stand toe to toe and just like see who has the luckiest shot there, who has the strength. So always try to make them miss. Hit him, make him miss. Hit him, make him miss, and that compounds to and adds up to the point where you're going to win that fight for sure.
Jeff Joslin, this has been a war, a battle that has gone on through 3 rounds.
Technical standpoint, always circle away from the power. You see, that helped me a lot there. Just I circle to the right, so Fitch is going to miss me more and more. Never back straight up.
Joslin conserving his energy. Joslin
trying to go back to the body again there.
Last little burst. When we see it, I'm thinking he's not going to be able to take out Fitch with a knockout because Fitch has got a good chin. Fitch is with. Oh, good left hand by Joslin. Joslin stalking. Shot.
20 seconds.
Shots. Should really go back to the combinations that got him. Okay, there we go. He's got him up against the ropes. Fitch trying to get out of trouble with an occasional.
Going back to that body.
That's it. Come back with combinations. Good move. He's running away. And Fitch got him.
Fitch gets the takedown.
That's it.
And at that moment, wow, what a feeling. It's one of the best moments of my life. The whole fight kind of flashed back through my head, and I remember just thinking, wow, I got my teeth knocked out. I got dropped in the first. I thought it was a punch. I didn't realize it was a headbutt, and I thought I came back. I pushed. I persevered through the second round, and now I won this fight. I smashed this guy. I broke him. He gave up, called a timeout, and then he was just broken for the rest of the fight. So I'm like, I won this fight. Wow, an amazing moment. So it was just a matter of getting up there and getting my hand raised now.
What a fight! What a fight! High drama here.
So much love for the crowd at that moment. They helped me through that. I couldn't have done it without their support. You know, them yelling and cheering me on gave me the energy, combined with all the hard work that we did for this fight leading up to this. So it's an accumulation. What you see in those 15 minutes of a fighter's action is nothing compared to what's gone on behind the scenes.
Two very good
Everybody
warriors.
sacrifices. The coaches are giving up so much of their time. The fighters are training so hard, so there's so much sacrifice. The families behind the fighters aren't seeing them as much. So there's so much that goes up behind the scenes to put on a good fight for the crowd.
Congratulations,
Right there,
gentlemen.
Keep stopping here, but that's my coach Vito Brancaccio wiping me down. My brother from another mother, he helped me so much. He's an amazing instructor in Mississauga, Ontario, so couldn't have done it without him. We got all the way to the UFC together and had so many great memories.
15 minutes that seem like an hour.
I am sure that both these gentlemen are going to sleep well tonight. And I think that ice packs are in their immediate future.
The next couple of days, yeah.
Now, you want to be a fighter? Look at the face of Jeff Joslin. This is what it takes to last 3 rounds, 5 minutes each in mixed martial arts.
Well, Jeff Joslin obviously woke up here stalking Jon Fitch into the corner, throwing lefts and rights. It was deja vu all round as he kept putting Fitch into the corner, and every time Fitch tried to shoot, he would sprawl, almost slamming Fitch's head into the ground. And then once again, controversy here. I have never ever seen a fighter call his own timeout here, and the ref, for some odd reason, says, hey, timeout, what seems to be the issue? Last time I checked, if the fight needs to be stopped, it's over. I thought it was over here until I saw the ref send Joslin to that corner.
Mesdames et messieurs, voici maintenant la décision des juges. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the judge's decision. Le juge Chartier, Judge Chartier, scores this fight 29-28. Joslin, Juge Descaroufel, scored this fight.
Joslin is me. They say the accent, Joslin. So I knew I had that round. That judge gave me the decision there.
29-28, Fitch.
Okay, watch this. So one judge gave it to Fitch. So I'm like, what? There's no way. There's no way he's going to win this fight. I'm like, okay, that must have been a mistake. So you can see me start to raise my hand up as my coach puts my shirt on. And then the referee shoves it down and raises Jon's hand in victory.
This fight 29-28. And winner by split decision, Jon Fitch.
Oh, that's a big surprise.
I think that knockdown in the first round.
That was a pretty messed up feeling. You know, you go through all that, you do all this battling, and you just, man, and then it just falls apart on you in a split second. And your teeth are gone, and your nose is broken. And you train so hard to have it just stripped away from you by some judges that I don't know what's going on. Cool part about it though is it made top 5 rip-offs in MMA history, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, it sucked to have that happen, but it's all part of the game, and you know, it was a great fight for me. It was an amazing fight against a very tough guy, and we brought the toughness out of each other. We had he pushed me to the limits, I pushed him to the limits. There's a point, you don't want to face it too many times as a fighter, but you get a point where everything goes against you and you have to push hard, and once you get out of that, I didn't win the fight, but I felt like I won the fight. So for me, it was a huge boost of my confidence for everything that I did in martial arts going forward, everything I did in jiu-jitsu, everything I did in regular life. You know, you really learn what you're made of as a person when your back's against the wall, and that was my moment there. So big thanks to Jon Fitch for pushing me to that limit. After the fight, like I said before, Jon and I went to the hospital together, and it was pretty funny. We're sitting there eating pizza together. Ordered pizza for us. I got my teeth are all loose and stuff, and his lips hanging off. And then we're eating pizza together, and we had to explain to people in the emergency department that we did this to each other. We're sitting out there, and Jon he was a super cool guy, and like I said, I had a lot of respect for him, and it was a good tilt. We brought the best out of each other that day, and it was a fun night, fun fight, and I was happy to put on a good show for the fans. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for all your support over the years, and I'll catch maybe I'll do another one soon.